The city of Carlsbad recently recognized us. Entrepreneurial Spirit Award was for companies that would have been around for over 75 years, and they selected us, which I thought was really cool. Gave this award. I'm going to pass it around, ask them to check it out. So that was a neat thing. My grandfather's name was Charles Weseloh. My dad's name was Charles Weseloh. We're both the same. So my grandfather went by Charlie. And in 1926, of all places, Ramona, he opened up a little roadside sales facility where he would sell items that somebody might need while they're on the road. And of course, he sold gas, oil. He was connected to the automobile business. This is the early stages of automobiles. Imagine what they would need. They probably would need shovels. Maybe they needed blankets if they were stranded, whatever. But he would sell whatever they needed. He had a service bay where he could work on one car. And how many vehicles do you think he had in inventory on his new vehicle side? He had one. Compare that to what we have today. He served in World War I. I wish I knew more about what he did in World War I. I believe he was in the U.S. Army. And I'm going to see what I can find out about my grandfather. But Charlie's where it all started. He went to Escondido in 1936. And then in 1940, he opened up a second Chevrolet dealership in Oceanside, which is where our roots are from. We came here in 1976. Backing up with my father, and of course my dad went by Ben, short for Benny, which is what he was called when he was a kid. He was always Benny. I'm not sure exactly where that came from, because his name is Charles also. But I do know one thing, he didn't like Junior. And as soon as he had the opportunity, he dropped Junior from his legal name. So, a little bit of history there. Dad, Escondido kid, he was a cougar, went to Escondido High School. He was a swimmer. He went on to Pasadena Junior College and then got an opportunity to go to USC, where he studied marketing. He was also in NROTC, so he studied to be in the Navy. Graduated in 2 years and 6 months. He took a very aggressive schedule, and the reason he did that is he desperately wanted to serve in World War II. He wanted very badly to be in the thick of it. And that got him a free ticket on a ship on his way to Japan, and he was going to be part of the invasion of Japan. And those of you who know your military history, this was going to be pretty bad. The projected casualties for invading Japan were going to be off the chart. Nothing like it before, and I doubt it will ever happen anywhere near what the expected casualties are going to be. Not only on the American and the Allied sides, the countries that were participating with the United States, but the Japanese also, and the civilians. The loss of life would have been phenomenal. And what prevented that from happening, as we all know, is what? The atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that pretty much ended it. And you get a lot of people out there today that, are opposed to the fact that the United States did that. Well, you won't hear anybody opposed to that who has a military background or a family member that would have had to participated in that invasion. They know what the costs would have been. Frankly, there's a pretty good chance I would have never made it. If you think about it, my dad was going to be involved in that invasion. You're not going to be sitting there looking at me, right? Pretty good chance. So coming back, Dad didn't get involved in any combat situations. The worst thing that happened to him is he got caught in a typhoon off the Philippines. He said that 90% of the ship was violently ill. It was so bad, the seas were so rough that they were all sick. Sick, right? No tomorrow. But he survived the typhoon, came home, eventually also went back for Korea, served in some ships. He was Navy, served in some ships off the coast of Korea during the Korean conflict, bombing missions and that kind of thing. So came back, met my mom. The old story about the mother or his potential wife, my mother, waiting on the dock. That's what happened. He told her that if she was there when he came home, He knew she was the right girl for him. And that's the way it went down. She was there, they got married. So it was cool that it worked out. Mom did her part too. She worked or volunteered, I don't know which, for the USO. And those of you in the military know exactly who the USO is. It's a great organization that provides lots of services for our military personnel, not only here but overseas in the United States. And things that maybe we as citizens take for granted, but the personnel and the services don't always take for granted. So she either worked or volunteered for the USO, so she did her part that way too during the war. Let's see, moving forward, I'll give you a little secret about myself. I've always kind of regretted the fact that I didn't serve. I wish I had. Looking back on it, I wish I had. I could have done it, could have gone to school, got out of college, put in 4 years, whatever. I wish I would have done it. But I grew up in a time when, hey, Vietnam wasn't a very popular deal, was it? You know, it was a whole different world when we were in Vietnam. And sadly, many of the military personnel who returned from Vietnam weren't treated right by Americans. And today, I think we've learned a lot about that. It's not the military personnel. They're doing their duty. They volunteered. They're on their missions. Their missions are important to them. We need the respect for them, what they do, and appreciation for what they do, and they put their lives on the line. It's not the military personnel that are responsible for the situations that they're faced with. They just go and do their duty. So fortunately, us as Americans, we respect that nowadays, and we treat the military much different than we did during Vietnam, and I'm happy to say that. It's very, very important. One quick thing, I want to honor all the military personnel and please stand up, and all the veterans. Anyone who served in the military, please stand up. Let's give them a great round of applause. Okay, and then one last thing, for you guys that are here for the first time, I have issued a challenge to the Marines every single year we've had this, and every single year the Marines fail. And I've been told you guys can do anything. Anything. You know, hoorah! You can do it all. Well, here's your challenge. I see some empty plates here. I don't want any food left over. I want all the food done, and that's your job. Finish it off. All right? We'll see if you guys can do it.